Alright, I am back after a little break. I apologize if the first half of this was perhaps a little lethargic. I had taken an allergy pill, and those can make me drowsy. It's possible that it was also extremely interesting. But, this time, no allergy pills. Well, there might be one in the future, but I should be done by the time it kicks in. So, this will be energetic and exciting for the second half here. As exciting as I get. Like a notch or two above Emo Phillips.
I'm Emily Wong. I'm an investigative journalist working here on the Citadel. Could I have a moment of your time?
What do you need?
I've been hunting for evidence of corruption and organized crime on the Citadel, but there are places I can't go. I was hoping you might share anything you find during your own investigation. I can make it worth your time.
This game's use of the press is actually really interesting. Oh, I don't know about really interesting. It's fairly interesting. There are two reporters, Emily Wong and Kalisa Al-Jalani, I believe. Don't remember if that's exactly her first name. But they're like the only embodiments of a media that you'd figure would be a lot more interested in Shepard as a famous person. And they're basically one's good and one's bad. It's never really complicated, and it sort of reminds me of Babylon 5, which is a show very near and dear to my heart, and probably like one of my main references, especially here on the Citadel, which is essentially Babylon 5 with a little more teeth in the universe of Mass Effect. It always wanted to use the media just for whatever story it had to tell. Occasionally they would show up and be manipulative, occasionally they would show up and be bad, but otherwise it was almost identical to what you might expect from 20th century Earth, or early 21st century Earth, or America to be a little more precise. I would figure that there would be room for a lot more creativity in how the media would come to define people's lives. Or, not necessarily define it, but how differences in what media and sort of social networks and connections of communication would do. And you see that in like stronger hard science fiction where, you know, I guess you might say cyberpunk influenced, but where everyone is connected all the time and only people who are deliberately not connected are outside of it. Neil Stephenson does this a lot, although his stuff is generally less epic space opera stuff. And I think it indicates the sort of usefulness of the space opera as a sort of reflection of modern society. The idea that media would be very different is not useful to what it does as a metaphor for who we are, what we want. So instead you get this really simplified thing where Shepard can either be nice or not nice.
How do you know that my investigation is going to uncover anything you need?
You wouldn't be investigating if it weren't big. And if it's big, it's something I'd like to hear about.
You gotta have access to better sources. Why contact me?
I'm using every source I can find, but I think I've got a better shot with you. According to your file, you survived back on Akuz when everyone else in your squad got killed. If anyone can find the worst elements of the Citadel and live to tell about it, it's you.
That's not really inspiring, Emily Wong.
How do you know I'm investigating anything here on the Citadel?
I'm a good journalist, Commander Shepard. Word gets around.
Sounds like a good cause. If I find any information, it's yours.
Thank you, Commander. You won't regret it.
Star Trek doesn't really include the media at all.
That your professional opinion, sir?
This isn't a station, it's a city.
There must be millions here. It can't be possible to track everyone coming and going.
I don't know why the music
This makes
stopped.
Jump Zero look like a porta-john, and it's the largest deep space station the Alliance has.
Jump Zero is big, but this is a whole nother scale. Look at the ward arms. How do they keep all that mass from flying apart?
The council represents more races than I thought. No wonder they're careful with newcomers.
They probably just want to keep everything running. It has to be hard keeping all these cultures working together.
Or maybe they just don't like humans.
Why not? We've got oceans, beautiful women, this emotion called love. According to the old vids, we have everything they want.
When you put it that way, there's no reason they wouldn't like you. I mean, us. Humans, ma'am.
You don't take much shore leave, do you, LT?
Alright, laugh it up, Chief. I appreciate the thought, Alenka, but we're on duty here.
Aye, ma'am.
I'll walk drag, ma'am.
That conversation feels like it might have made a lot more sense with Shepard as a male.
Hello there, Commander. I'm Dr. Michel. Is there something I can do for you?
Let me take a look at what you have for sale.
Of course.
No upgrades.
Yes, Commander. Is there something I can do for you?
You're a doctor. How did you end up here on the Citadel?
My parents brought me here when I was young. My father was a medic with the Alliance. I chose to keep the medical tradition alive, but not the military. Fixing up wounded soldiers isn't my idea of fun.
Ironic that you can recruit her in Mass Effect 3 then. I am going to check something. The frame rate seems a little low. I might need to close some programs.
I'll be
Alright,
going
I
now.
hope that wasn't that
Goodbye,
too boring
Commander.
for you
Nice
all.
talking to you.
Now it seems worse. I will probably check the codex.
You can keep the Presidium. This is where the action is.
At some point to talk about that in more detail, because I feel I may well do a chapter on it on its own. Probably a short chapter, but it's definitely an interesting sort of supplement that basically exists as a reward for players who really care.
Hey, I know you. You're Shepard, right? I saw the monument at Aku's. They got a whole section about you there. It's a miracle you survived.
Looks like you have a fan.
I'm sorry, I just never thought I'd meet someone like you in person. My name's Lang, Officer Eddie Lang, Citadel Security. It's an honor to meet you, Commander. What are you doing down here in the wards? Anything I can help you with?
Why'd you join Citadel Security?
I don't know. Seemed like the right thing to do, you know? Maybe it's in my blood. My grandfather was a cop back on Earth. It's kind of what CSEC is. Police for the Citadel. I'm still pretty new at it, but I like it so far. Way more interesting than staying back on Earth. You get to meet all kinds of cool aliens, like those Hanar. Wild. Plus, CSEC gets a lot of respect here. We uphold the law. People, even aliens, appreciate that.
I like how this guy needs to make it clear that Citadel security is similar to police. Like, in what way are they not similar to police?
How do you like working here on the Citadel?
This place is amazing. I've been here almost a year, and I still haven't seen a tenth of it. The Presidium's just so beautiful. Good place to go and relax. But I really like it here down in the wards. There's always something going on somewhere. Like that new club they just opened a few months ago, Flux. Wicked scene in there, Commander. You should check it out when you have some time.
What do you know about Spectres?
Just the stuff they show in the vids. They always make them out to be super agents on secret missions to save the galaxy. I know it's not really like that, though. Some of the other CSEC guys don't like them too much. Figure they shouldn't be able to operate outside the law. But if they were so bad, the Council wouldn't use them, right?
Oh, you have the authoritarian mindset of a budding cop friend.
Do you know a CSEC officer named Harkin?
I shouldn't really say too much. He's been on the force a lot longer than me. But I've heard things, you know? Drinking on the job, taking bribes, that kind of thing. Rumors mostly, but they suspended him, so some of it must be true.
I have to go.
Right. You're probably real busy. Well, see you around, Commander.
Alright, well, since fighting off those jerks proved to be rather difficult, I think I'm going to go down Rex's side of the story, at least until I can get him. Because I feel like a Krogan would help me. These guys are not so helpful.
Helix has settled out of court with a Krogan group that had accused the Genetics Corporation of fraud. The Krogan group had contracted Binary Helix to perform studies with a long-range goal of curing their genetic sterilization. The group later sued for a return of investment money when the study produced no viable results.
I'm not sure if it does that every time you go into CSEC for the first time, but that's actually an interesting, really interesting way of introducing the genophage plot. They don't even call it the genophage there, but it kind of sets the stage for what's about to occur, which I believe is running into Wrex as soon as we get into the main section. Guess not. Time to go dig up some dirt.
One sec, looking you up. Commander Shepard, here with the Alliance military. First time on the Citadel, that about right?
How do you know who I am?
I'm the CSEC requisitions officer. I need to make sure our buyers are authorized. So, will you be purchasing anything today, Commander Shepard?
Show me what you got.
Excellent. I hope you find what you're looking for.
CSEC seems more like a military operation than a police force.
Sorry, quick pause of the recording there.
Okay, Julie. Let me get this straight. Your business partner, Short, he's threatened you?
Well, no, not exactly. But he wants to meet with me. I think he's going to kill me.
And why do you think that?
I can't really get into the details. But Shorbin will kill me if I leave here unprotected.
I can't help you. Not unless you give me something more to go on.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Then I've got other work to do. But nothing. Don't bother me unless you're willing to give me details.
One of the things that should stop introducing everything by saying that. I like this little story here with Jalid talking about Chorban, because Chorban's the guy that we ran into with the Keepers, and right there he looked like maybe a little skeezy guy, but nothing that would make you say, you know, this is not someone I should help at all. And this is what could easily be a totally different side quest, but instead it sort of indicates an integration and deepening of the world where, you know, characters have different motivations, different plans, different partners.
Hey there! Oh, you're not C-Sec, are you? Did you want something?
What were you trying to explain to the officer before?
My colleague is trying to kill me, and I thought we were friends.
How do you know he wants you dead?
He's changed. He won't talk to me at work anymore, and he started following me. Yesterday, he followed me all the way home, just waiting for a chance. I don't care what anyone thinks. He wants me gone. I know it.
Is there something I can do? Talk to your friend, maybe?
Would you? That's all I want. Someone to talk to him. Tell him to leave me alone. He thinks he can just push me around, but you'll show him, won't you?
Just tell me where he is and I'll go find him.
Oh, right. Well, he wanted to meet with me down in the wards near the markets. He said he just wanted to talk, but I know better. His name's Chorban. He's a Solarian. You shouldn't have any trouble. He's just a scientist.
Chorban? That's the guy who asked us to scan the Keepers.
The Keepers? Well, even more reason to go after him. That's against regulations.
I better look into this right away. Find out what he's up to.
Anything's possible with Chorban these days. Well, good luck.
Hello, Commander. Nice to see so many humans working for C-Sec.
I think one of these laptops has info on it. Misremembering. Obviously, I misremembered when I meet Wrex, so... Now it's time to reveal that I am not a 100% expert at this game, and figure out what I can do other than go to Korra's Den. I suppose I could go meet with Chorban. Let's go to Korra's Den. Barla Vaughn. Right. That makes me wonder if the Krogan elevator thing happens when you go into C-Sec regardless, or randomly, or whatever.
In Prime, we present another Profile in Courage with serviceman Nirali Bhatia. A devoted wife and talented chef, Serviceman Bhatia joined the Alliance military under the Deferred Education Plan. After finishing her service, Bhatia planned to open a restaurant. Instead, she gave her life protecting the colonists of Eden Prime.
I can do this quest
For more
too.
profiles in Courage, or to explore opportunities in the military, please visit the Alliance military on the extranet. Keyword, Courage.
This is actually an interesting little quest because it sort of establishes the difference between renegade and paragon. So I'm definitely going to swing over and do that one. Faster, Shepherd, faster.
Welcome to the Presidium. Allow me to be your guide.
I swear the dude's supposed to be there. Maybe he's in the diplomatic wing. Maybe he's that X?
Welcome to the Presidium.
The X is a
Allow me to
Vina.
be your guide.
I can't tell the aliens from the animals.
Oh, you racist. Stop being so spacist. Just Shep's playing some stuff to Ash. Should probably grab the keepers while I'm here. This trip was not
Commander,
wasted.
is there something you need?
I should go.
Be here if you need me.
That was a waste.
Big place.
Well, they've built themselves quite the lake. Wonder if anyone ever drowned in it.
Maybe dude only shows up once you become a specter.
I can't believe I landed a job here. This place is fantastic.
This place is a little too perfect. They're hiding something.
Shut up, Ashley. Oh, let me go this way. Do you have a keeper in here, buddy? All those nooks and crannies and no keeper. There's one in the bar, though. I probably have or should have something to say about how this encourages you to explore all the nooks and crannies, which is true. And that's a kind of general RPG thing. It's the way I play normally, and it sort of relates Mass Effect back to the JRPG system, where, generally speaking, dungeons and towns tended to all present things to you very directly, except for a couple little side paths that might lead to bonuses. They're rarely mazes, rarely difficult, but you wanted to look in all the corners because there's probably some reward for the act of looking.
I don't have time to talk now. I'm very busy.
Welcome to the Presidium. Allow me to be your guide.
I haven't got done the keepers around here either, but first to Barla, because I want to give you guys something to see, dear viewers. Now there's a quest that leads up here, but also a keeper. Hello. You look like a really high-end vacuum cleaner. on to our introduction to the Shadow Broker, who becomes a major figure.
What's this? One of the Earth Clan. Ah, a very famous one, yes? You are the one called Shepherd. The tale of how you survived the great tragedy on Akuz is truly remarkable. I am amazed each time I hear it.
Everyone's making a fuss.
You've got me at a disadvantage here.
Forgive me, Earth Clan. My name is Barla Vaughn. My job makes it necessary for me to keep informed.
I'm on Twitter all the time.
I am a financial advisor to many important clients here on the Citadel. When someone as important as yourself arrives on the station, I take notice.
I heard you work for the Shadow Broker. Do you have any information about Saren?
You're very blunt, Shepherd. But you're right. I am an agent for the Shadow Broker, and I do know something about Saren.
I hear your information can be expensive.
Normally, this information would cost a small fortune. But these are exceptional circumstances, so I am going to give it to you for free.
What's the catch?
There is no catch. The Shadow Broker is quite upset with Saren right now. They used to do a lot of business, until Saren turned on him.
Saren's turned on a lot of people lately.
I don't know the details, but the Shadow Broker hired a freelancer to deal with it. A Krogan mercenary.
That's not much to go on.
I just told you that the most famous Spectre in the galaxy betrayed the Shadow Broker. Quite a bargain, considering the price. Speak with the Krogan if you want to learn more. I heard he was paying a visit to Citadel security. If you hurry, you might catch him before he leaves the Academy.
Isn't it strange that a Krogan would want to speak with C-Sec?
Very. However, I doubt the visit was entirely his choice. You'll need to speak with him if you want to know more.
Tell me more about your job.
Galactic
that's
finance
personal
is
questions.
incredibly complex. A mix of laws and regulations from dozens of interstellar economies. I'm an expert in how all these economies interact. For a fee, I share my expertise. I also offer premium services for those clients who need someone to conduct business without drawing unwanted attention. Discreet and efficient. That's my motto.
Not really a good motto.
Sounds pretty shady.
Everything I do falls completely within the bounds of interstellar commerce law. Even so, many of my clients would prefer their transactions remain undisclosed. For example, suppose a Hanar ambassador was petitioning the council to reduce tariffs on Hanar goods. How would it look if he had money invested in a Hanar exporting company? Even if his true motives were to help his people, he would be accused of advancing
That's not really a
petition
good
for his own
example.
personal gain. I can keep his personal finances private.
Still sounds shady to me.
Then we can only hope you will never be cursed with a large enough fortune to require my services.
That's a clever little line, Barla Vaughn.
Tell me more about the Shadow Broker.
Most people think I deal in finances, but my real currency is knowledge. I trade information, and it has made me very wealthy. But the Shadow Broker is the true master. Every day he buys and sells secrets that could topple governments, always giving them to the highest bidder. Yet somehow he never seems to upset the natural balance of power. All those secrets being passed around seem to even out. Nobody ends up with an advantage in the end.
It's interesting that the Shadow Broker is treated as almost benevolent in this game, because it most certainly is not in Mass Effect 2, which I don't feel like was intentional. I think someone at BioWare said, hey, why don't we turn this into a bad guy between the two games, as opposed to let's set this up in order to knock it down later, like Cerberus. Cerberus here is easy to see as an introduction to something that will become a major player later. Where the Shadow Broker is gets a major shift.
Any guess what his identity might be?
I don't know. Nobody does. The Shadow Broker could be any race, any gender. I have a theory that it's actually an entire group working under one identity. How else could they juggle so many contacts at the same time? How else could they keep all that information from getting crossed? But they've got the perfect setup. Every government is forced to play their game so they don't get behind. But no matter how long you play, no matter how many secrets you buy, you can never win.
I kind of prefer this Shadow Broker. This is a little difficult to try to explain, so this is more me working through it than making a really good point. But it's definitely one of the things that I want to talk about when I write my chapter on the Citadel. That the Shadow Broker kind of represents a conception that this universe is finite, but not too small. Like, he's it says that it's possible, if you devote your life and huge amounts of resources to understanding everything within the Mass Effect universe, that you can, but as players we will only see the portions of the universe that are put in front of us. It's also a very sort of epic science fiction or epic fantasy thing. Like, there's no Shadow Broker in, you know, reality today. There's no single person that people know of has a reputation of knowing everything. But you get that in these stories occasionally, where you have, you know, a wizard who knows everything, or in Serenity, Mr. Wizard, who's just a regular dude who has a bunch of screens. Probably a direct influence on the conception of the Shadow Broker, to be honest. And maybe that's why he's treated so positively in this game, because this came out only 2 years after Serenity did. I don't necessarily talk about Firefly that much as a direct influence on Mass Effect, but I do think there is some of it in the character interactions and the focus on the Normandy as kind of the home of the crew, and the crew as the main focus. So there's sort of a thematic idea, and I guess the tone is fairly similar a lot of the time. The action, semi-comic, semi-dramatic story definitely relates to Firefly more than it does to shows like Babylon 5 or Star Trek, which tend to be a lot more serious and a lot less active for the main characters. You know, Picard sits in his chair the entire episode and makes the right decisions, and that's the focus. He doesn't usually get his gun and hide behind crates. Happens very rarely, and it's usually something's gone really wrong. Battlestar Galactica would also be another sort of action model, but there are huge differences between TV shows and video games, but you still have occasional things where, like, there has to be a fight in every episode. I think that was the case for Firefly. Possibly even Battlestar Galactica. I'd have to think about it, but in Mass Effect there also kind of has to be a fight in every section in order to maintain players' attention. Not this section, though, because I have only done a fight that I failed lately, but we'll get back to that.
I thought you'd know more about the man you work for.
From time to time I come across information I sell to the Shadow Broker. That's my only involvement. I like it that way. The more you know, the more dangerous the game becomes. I don't like danger, Commander. I'll leave that to you.
I wish Barla had a bigger role in Mass Effect 2 and 3. I'm not even sure if he's in 2. And he's only kind of a side character with that I think maybe gives you a find something in the galaxy quest in 3.
What's it like living here on the Citadel?
I could be
The station is without a
mistaking it
doubt
for
the
someone
greatest
else.
wonder in the galaxy. It is a technological marvel, but its true splendor goes much deeper than the hull and engines. From the Presidium to the wards, the entire station is a testament to the success of the Council. All the species of Citadel spaced together in a single, strong community.
What are the wards like?
The cultural heart of the galaxy. They pulse with the lifeblood of millions of citizens from dozens of different species. You never know what you'll find out in the wards, Commander. It's always full of surprises. Fortunately, most of them are pleasant.
Unless you're playing a video game.
What makes the Presidium so special?
It is the political center of Citadel space. 80% of all intelligent species in the known galaxy acknowledge the Council's authority on interstellar matters.
That's an interesting,
but only the most
specific
powerful and influential
statistic.
species have embassies here on the Presidium. This level of the station is reserved for the elite, Shepard. People like us.
I think it's kind of good that Mass Effect never actually goes into how many other species there are, because then it always has the ability to add a new one whenever it needs to. Not that it usually does, but...
Goodbye, Commander.
On the off chance that it does need to, like in this one, adding the Batarians, I am going to seasick. Like, this game adds the Batarians in an expansion that, amusingly, I have never played, but I have managed to acquire. So, when I get to that... I already got that one.
Sure is peaceful here.
Despite my strong belief that Wrex is the most fleshed out character in Mass Effect 1, and therefore my favorite.
News, Francis Kitt has announced plans to direct Hamlet with L-Corps cast members. The production will open dramatic theater to the L-Corps with a Hamlet who uses L-Corps body language and pheromones. Kitt claims that he's also excited by giving a human audience the chance to judge Hamlet by his deeds and not his emotions.
So this will probably be the first time that I pick Wrex for my party generally, despite me liking him more than most other characters. Because the first game I played as a Vanguard, and thus he was redundant in gameplay terms, and the second game I played as a human supremacist renegade, and so he didn't really fit in role-playing terms. But gonna have fun with him this time, because Wrex deserves it.
Witnesses saw you making threats in Fist's bar. Stay away from him.
I don't take orders from you.
This is your only warning, Wrex.
You should warn Fist. I will kill him.
You want me to arrest you?
I want you to try.
Go on. Get out of here.
Yes, human.
I'm trying to bring down Saren. Barla Vaughn said to talk to you.
Barla Vaughn is a wise man. We may share a common goal, human.
Enlighten me.
I've been hired to kill the owner of Cora's Den, a man named Fist. He did something very foolish.
What'd he do?
He betrayed the Shadow Broker. A Quarian showed up here on the Citadel. She was on the run. She wanted to trade information for a safe place to hide, so she went to Fist. He promised to arrange a meeting between her and the Shadow Broker. Instead, he contacted Saren.
What does Saren have to do with this?
Well, the Quarian has something that connects Saren to the Geth. He paid Fist a small fortune for her.
If we get our hands on that evidence, we can prove that Saren's a traitor. And the Council will have to listen to us.
Where's the Quarian now?
Last I heard, Fist still had her. Probably somewhere inside his club. You help me kill Fist, she's all yours.
I want to know more about your employer.
Can't tell you much. All I got was a coded message with the details of the job. Standard procedure.
What about Garrus, that Turian? He wants to take Saren down too.
He might come in handy.
He was here just before you showed up. Said he was going to follow up a lead on his investigation. Wanted to speak to the doctor at the med clinic.
Move out.
Tech or combat? I guess I need some tech strength. Whatever. Get to Garrus soon enough. I believe the game just crashed. How about that? Alright, crash has been annoying, but I have taken a few minutes and gotten back to the point where I was at. And this time I am choosing Ashley in case that choosing Caden was the problem. I have no idea if it is, and I guess we'll see. Looks good so far. Hopefully that will be what I need to take these suckers out. Alright. Guess I'm gonna go get Garrus first. No, not the docking bay. Because Garrus has the tech skills, and I could use those to tear through with shields. So it's the second game in a row where I don't actually talk to Harkin. As I recall, if you go through Wrex first to Garrus directly, or to Fist directly, there's never a need to talk to Harkin, and therefore it's just kind of a dangling plot thread all that time. For not. All that time the game spent building Harkin up as somewhat relevant. But insanity has its own demands. I'm not quite willing to give up on insanity after just one battle when there are plenty of other quests I could do.
How will you know?
One of 500.
Interesting. I wonder how I missed that keeper from downstairs.
I didn't tell anyone, I swear!
That was smart, Doc. Now if Garrus comes around, you stay smart. Keep your mouth shut or Who are you?
Let her go.
Ah!
I smell trouble.
This is already going a lot better. These guys don't have crazy shields.
I've lost contact.
Sorry.
I can't get an angle. Not my line of sight. Can't see him.
Get a clear shot.
Got a shot. Say goodnight. Say goodnight. They're in my sight. Locked on.
Huzzah. Now we should be able to take out assassins very easily.
Perfect timing, Shepard. Gave me a clear shot at that bastard.
You took him down clean.
Sometimes you get lucky. Dr. Michel, are you hurt?
No, I'm okay, thanks to you, all of you.
Why were they threatening you? Who do they work for?
They worked for Feast. They wanted to shut me up, keep me from telling Garrus about the Quarian.
The one I told you about, Shepard.
She must be able to link Saren to the Geth. There is no way the Council can ignore this.
Time we paid Fist a visit.
This is your show, Shepard. But I want to bring Saren down as much as you do. I'm coming with you.
This thus begins the buddy comedy that is the Garrus and Shepard show.
You're a Turian. Why do you want to bring him down?
I couldn't find the proof I needed in my investigation, but I knew what was really going on. Saren is a traitor to the Council and a disgrace to my people.
Welcome aboard, Garrus.
Fist is going to be waiting for us. When we hit him, we better hit him hard.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from Fist's thugs, Commander. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been there.
You're a doctor. How did you end up here on the Citadel?
My parents, I chose to keep the medical tradition alive, but not the military.
I guess I can't continue that conversation. I believe there's a keeper in here, though I might have gotten it already. Yeah, this is the way that I went over to Fist before. Cora's dead before. Alright, I am going to update my stats real quick and start recording again.